I think about it now, the propaganda to make me afraid of Muslims. I can't even imagine being a Muslim growing up after 9/11 in America, because I know how I felt about them. And I was young, I was 11 years old. But that beating every day in our heads that every Muslim was a terrorist was the idea that you got.
I make jokes about it, but like, you don't understand. Like, I had to shave my face to go to the airports. My mom would make me shave my face.
Yeah.
Like, at school, like, I was so young. This is actually fun. I had a mustache in like the 4th grade, and my mom made me nair it because she was like, you got to, like, because it was really, really bad. Because whatever you're, like, the household would say, the kids have no filter. So they would just say whatever they wanted to me. But at a young age, I realized that I myself, as a Middle Eastern, was racist too. I was like, oh, it's not us, it's them. And so I would point my finger out of fear and be like, no, no, they did it. But then I went to, what country did I just go to? Sorry.
Canada?
I went to Saudi Arabia. And I don't think I've ever been to a country that was more hospitable to me. The love that I got, the respect that I got, I literally sat back and I hung myself out to dry on a podcast. I go, wow, I was brainwashed. I was so scared. I didn't bring her.
Yeah, yeah, same. And so first I want to say, just like to all Muslims growing up during that time in America, I am sorry on behalf of America
Yeah, I'm
for
sorry
the way
too.
that you were treated. That it is so unacceptable. When I go back and I re-examine that propaganda, that brainwashing that took place in the classroom to make me scared of something, I didn't even know what a Muslim was. I remember going to the airport and someone was a Hindu. And I was scared of him. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna make him take this off of his head, blah, blah. I thought that was a Muslim, right? There was no education about anything. And the reason for that, you know, he who controls the textbooks controls the entire country, in my view, right? It was because everything that we did responding to 9/11 should be assessed as whether or not they were crimes against humanity. We bombed 1 million Iraqi civilians. We killed 1 million Iraqi civilians. What were we doing in Iraq? The
I never
Saudis were on the
understood
plane.
that, yeah.
They just said there's weapons of mass destruction, and then they never found them. But in the process, they killed 1 million Iraqi civilians, right? And it made us think it's okay to just keep bombing Muslims. That was the purpose, to me, of that educational propaganda and brainwashing, is that we feel nothing for Muslims if they die.
Right.
And that's so wrong. As a
They
Christian,
built
it bothers
anger.
me. As a Christian, it bothers me that I allowed the school system to inform my perspectives, to not care about human beings.
Yeah. There was a, that's so powerful. That I just want to take a second to say I absolutely agree with you. That is very powerful. But painting your civilians or your citizens' mind, let's face it, television is war. Tell a vision. What vision are you telling your citizen? So when they are weekly programming, every time it's a weekly program, they're programming you to think of a certain thing. This is not new though, right? This is a tactic that's been since Jesus Christ. Like the king or whoever will be like, they're evil because this and this and that. You would think social media would kind of open each other's eyes to be like, oh, wait, hold on. Like, they're not that bad. They're actually, in America, it's a mixing pot, which means they're coming from other countries. You think they would be educated. How do we get our country to not be divided?
Actually properly get educated, and I think this is the reason that they hate alternative media sources like me. You know, if you say they hate podcasting, you want to figure out how to control this, right?
Yeah.
Because suddenly their narrative is threatened, and I think that we are in the midst of a mass awakening. I would say to any person that's watching this is to know that anytime you are thinking in your head that these are always the good guys and you're referring to an entire religion, you know, an entire class of people, all women are this, all men are that, all Muslims are this, all Jews are this, you're being programmed. You have been programmed. Human beings are more complex. Alexander Solzhenitsyn is a person who was in the labor camps during the communist regime, and he came out and he wrote extensively about what they suffered. By the way, no one ever talks about the Christian Holocaust, 20 million Christians killed in Russia. And he was writing about it, and he says, everybody's capable of